Well, hello! Look at this plastic packaging. Oh my gosh. It must be a Sunday because we're reviewing something. So, hi, hello, my name's Bryony, welcome. If you don't know my name, just call me B, I don't care. Let me just remove this disgusting plastic packaging, which should really be cardboard. Oh, I'm excited to try the products, but I have to just be like, why? Why do we need this bubble wrap lined Ziploc bag? You can send stuff without needing to coat it in more plastic. There's already enough plastic with the packaging. Anyway, this is what I got from Linda Hallberg. Now, there was like a 30% off sort of special that she was doing on her website, and I've had my eye on this for ages, and Marielle actually recommended their product, so I was like, ooh. Oh, this is the light core pencil that I bought, and I figured this would be perfect for being able to use like under your eyes or like just anything. Ooh, that is very pigmented. This is the Infinity Power Brows Sketch and Sculpt Liquid Liner and Pencil, because I've talked about my brows a lot. They are patchy, they are uneven, they have many issues, and they cause me that feeling. Looks like a good taupe, and it's a very fine tip, as you can see from that. I like to do this to make sure you can see exactly how much product is in here. Ooh, I'd say it's about that much. It's about the same as like my fingertip. There you go, so you can see, which is honestly impressive. Oh, okay, it's a very dry formula. I know that my eye makeup is very pretty today. I'll reference the video up here. But yes, please focus on that, because those are super freaking fine. I bought two Fantastic, Goldstone and the other one in the shade Pink Opal. This packaging is amazing, by the way. Like, wow. Oh my gosh, it's like holographic beautifulness. But it's not holographic, of course. I don't know if you know this, but in order to make holographic glitter, you absolutely have to use plastic. There is no way to not. This feels nice and weighty. Love the packaging. Oh, woo. That's like a nice colour. I think it's a little deeper than I was anticipating. That is as much product as you get in here, my loves. It's got a slight smell to it, but not really anything. Okay, that is way prettier than I thought. Assertive, click. Ooh. Look at that colour. That's nice. Oh, this is going to be so lovely for winter. Like, the whole point of the Fantasticks is that they're not like hyper pigmented. They're almost like a gloss. And I think that those two colours are really nice. I've been needing this one because my Nabla contour, which I use like all the time and have been using for 2 and a bit years now, lasted that long, so I was like, well, let's look at this Infinity palette, shall we? So one thing I've always appreciated about Linda Hallberg's, ooh, okay. Those are actually really, sorry, I need to show you instead of me. Those are the colours, so you can see. Very privileged white person right now, because I do sometimes have to travel for work, and it can be a bit frustrating trying to pack down all of my cosmetics into like one tiny little thing. So I'll be able to use this for like literally everything. I can get like eye looks out of this, like my whole face, and I just need one palette. That was one of the main reasons that I got this, because you travel sometimes. At least I do. I'm an executive assistant, if you didn't know. So I do have to travel for work. But you don't really need to worry about bringing heaps of like palettes with you when you have to get up at 4 in the morning, you know. So I'm really intrigued to use this, and I think I'm going to get a lot of use out of this. That's why I bought these products, because I wanted to make sure that I bought products that I would get high use out of, because I don't really buy that much makeup. Other than like eyeshadows and maybe lipsticks, I tend to only buy stuff when I hit pan, and of course like when mascara is older than 3 months. That's the only time I really buy makeup, so you don't really see heaps of reviews on here, because I don't buy a boatload. Because I want to buy products that I really want, and I encourage you to do the same. I don't want you to ever feel pressured into having to buy something because I've talked about it. Like, if you're curious and because of like the reviews I've given, if you buy it, then that's cool. I just more want to share with you my experience, and that's why we do all of this stuff. Let's get right on into my lengthy review. I'm filming this in April, but you'll probably see this in June. So let's get started. It is now finally time to actually review these, and then we'll do brows. If my voice sounds funny, I've had sinusitis and bronchitis, and I have not been a very well person for a couple of weeks. So I'm just going to use this really good mirror, even though this desperately needs cleaning. This is the shade Pink Opal and I adore it. And I've actually found this really easy. So let's see how much of this product is still left, and I've been using it a lot. So this is how much of the product is still left, which is honestly impressive considering the fact that I have to use it to fill in my entire eyebrow. So I'm very impressed at that. It's not too soft. The colour is perfect for my light blonde hair. I've actually just found this very easy to use, and like I've talked about many times before, I have sparse eyebrows. And if you're wanting to create a more natural brow look, I find this actually works really well for that. As you can see, very kind of like natural look. Now at this point I sometimes do actually like to go in with a bit of a spoolie to like just sort of soften it. And then I'm just going to use this pen line. Now I've used this first in the past, but I actually prefer to use this afterwards to try and like create a few more of like the defined bristle looks, if that makes sense. And as you would have seen from that motion just there, if you have sparse brows like me, I actually like to just do that pressing down motion, because then that deposits pigment straight through your brow. This eyebrow always looks kind of bad on me no matter what, but for someone with sparse brows, I have honestly been adoring this, loving this. So yes, I just wanted to like show you that full process so you can see how it looks on me with sparse brows, which are also uneven, and I have a whole video on how I try and like measure that out. Obviously I did a bit of a quick job today. Now onto the main palette. As you can see, it is well used. It has been about 2 months and I've used all of the colours quite a bit. I haven't used this one too much, so let's just do a very nice simple look today. I'm gonna just take Zwicky, gonna go in the crease. I love the fact that this is super pigmented, and if you've got more of an olive toned skin, you can actually incorporate this to actually work as your like bronzer contour powder. For me, this is a bit too deep, as you can quite clearly tell. I just love how blendable these shades all are. So you've got Milky Way just down the bottom, which is more of like a shimmery milky colour. Funny that. And then you've also got Virigo at the top, which is more of a golden shade. Now I will just take Virigo over the lid. Not doing anything fancy today. We're keeping it very like oat milk latte, but it's just a nice soft subtle shimmer. Now you can of course like apply this over a wet base, and if you do that then the colour will obviously pop a lot more, but this is very much a basic highlight shimmer. The main difference between Virigo and Milky Way from what I found is Virigo is a bit less lustrous in terms of like a blinding highlight, and that Milky Way is more of like your 2018, 2017 like I am going to blind you with this. If you are like more of like the traditional sort of makeup wearer, I think that you'll get so much use out of this. Like I did my whole Priscilla Presley makeup look. Like you can do basically any 1950s, 1960s style makeup using just this palette and you'll be sorted, done. I will show you how the black wears, which I've got a cat fluff on this brush. So what I've been doing with this black is literally just stamping it along my lash line and just creating a very soft wing. Obviously like you can make this as pronounced as you want. But like I said, we're just keeping this very subtle. Yes, if my hair looks bad, I need to wash it and I've got a lot of dry shampoo in it, so sorry. Black smoky eye. The black on this is nicely pigmented. I don't find that it suffers from fallout like what you can find with other blacks as well. So as you can probably tell, I have been mixing Cigar with Mafe, because obviously being as pale as I am, contour powder can be heavily dark. You're only meant to go like 2 or 3 shades darker. But what I've been finding with this is it is, like I said, easy to blend, which is fantastic. We love that. And the colour is just perfect because it's definitely cool tone, like both of them are cool tone. And like I said, if you want, you can always use Zwiggy. As you can tell on my eyes though, it is a little bit too deep for me to use as like a bronzer, because I'd have to use the lightest touch, and I don't have a very light touch when it comes to things in life. But again, it blends really easily into the skin. Speaking of eyes, I want to talk about light core. Now, I will sharpen this for you because as you can tell, it's well used. I want to mention the Linda Hallberg pencil sharpener. Even with my Colourpop like lip liners, it's able to sharpen them. If you've ever had a Colourpop lip liner, you know what I'm on about when I say that they crumble and break. So there we go, this is light core. Just because when you're still coming off sickness, I always like to try and brighten my eyes a little bit. And I'll just show you how Milky Way looks. And just lightly under those brow bones. And now for the blush. Now I've actually been really enjoying like mixing them both together. I will of course show you swatches on my arm. But the colours of both are actually really nice. So you've got this beautiful peachy in Andromeda, and then you have the nice pinky of Pinwheel. Now you can of course apply this with a light hand, with a heavy hand. I'm pretty heavy handed and I do like the look of like a decent amount of blush on me. Nice and easy to blend. Not too harsh, but definitely buildable, but still packing like a good amount of pigment punch. I've not found that I've had any trouble with the application of either of these shades. Let's do a bit of Milky Way highlight now. This is definitely more of your blinding shade when it comes to a highlight. So again, so you can see how light opal looks. I've been having a few sips of tea. I just want to show you the difference in the tube. So you can just see the difference between pink opal, which is on my lips right now, and then Goldstone, which is this one right here, which I'm just about to put on top. So we'll just have a bit of lips side by side. Pink opal, which is a very pretty colour. It doesn't have too much pigmentation. It is buildable though, which is good. There we go, so that is how it turned out on the tissue paper, or should I say the toilet paper that I use because I'm that classy. Now let's move on to Goldstone. So then let's have a side by side. Okay, let's just talk about the lipsticks since I've just put it on. I've actually been really enjoying this formula. It feels really nice and moisturizing, as you can tell. It's got this beautiful sheen to it. Just feels very comfortable on your lips. The staying power is not the best though. I almost like to use these as a bit of a topper sometimes when I want to have a bit of a glossy look but not gloss, if that makes sense. So these have got SPF 15 in them as well. And I have very sensitive lips. I've still been really enjoying using them. Like the packaging, they have a nice weight to them. You can use these. These are like, obviously all of her products are like multi-use because this is Fantastic. So you can actually use this as like a blush as well, or like a lid topper. I'm not that kind of person because my skin is just that oily, so I do not do that. But in terms of like how they feel on the lips, I love it. And the pigmentation is like buildable, but you definitely feel like you've got something on, especially if you're in the mood to like just be able to have something to whip on and not have to worry too much about it. But you get dried out, say for example if you're dealing with winter or if you're dealing with air conditioning. Oh my gosh, I've been loving these so very much. I totally forget their official name, but I just call this one Light Core, and it just stays in your waterline. I love the staying power of these. I know that these are multi-use as well. I haven't used them anywhere other than my waterline or in my inner corner though personally, but honestly I love it so much. The formulation's fantastic. Of course everyone knows that you don't use like white in your waterline if you want to brighten them. I just use this, and look how much more alive and well I look when I use this. So I've been adoring this. Highly recommend this. And as for the Infinity Brows Sketch and Sculpt, again, 2 months use, adore. Like, my eyebrows look very natural. I love the ease of use of this. I've been just loving this look because it's like, it's not too done up. She does also have like a brow gel thing. I've still been using my Thrive Cosmetics one. Like, that's absolutely fine by me. I don't really think there'll be any surprises that I adore this too. I know that this is well used. I know that you can see the fact that I've been using it and whatever, but I'll still talk about it. I think this palette is so well put together in terms of like a compact travel palette, because the magnetized closing is actually really, it's very firm. So that's why I'm saying like this is fantastic for travel. I know that people are starting to travel again. I already am. Again, New Zealand, we've got a lot of privilege here. I fully recognise that. But in terms of like, if you are not that adventurous with makeup and you just want to be able to have like one palette you can just turn to for everything, this could actually be your palette. Like I said, they've got it in darker shades as well. I think they've got, this one is the light color and then they've got a deep. I haven't found any issues with any of these products. I think that the quality is fantastic. Yes, they're a little bit more expensive. Like, it's a very good little indie brand and it's made, I believe it's Swedish. I believe that Linda Hallberg is Swedish, because even in the days when I was like always on Pinterest, I think in like 2011 when everyone else was as well, I would always look at her tutorials on Pinterest and like the looks that she did. Loved her since then, and then it was only like in the past year and a bit that I discovered that she's got her own cosmetics, and I'm like, I see the passion and how she created these products. I love the artistry that you can create with them, and the fact that you're not completely boxed in, but the fact that you can actually create very well polished looks with this. I surprisingly love everything, and that is quite rare for me to love every single product. Like, normally when I buy stuff, I don't like something to do with them, but yeah, amazing. Can't recommend this stuff highly enough. Not me forgetting to do swatches at all. See? Difference right there. Now that I do not believe in swatches anyway, I still just like to show you so you can sort of get an impression. I did very light swatches, but you can clearly tell the difference between these two right here. So this is the gold, which I use on my lids, and then this is the Milky Way. This is why this highlight is just beaming. I also know that Linda Hallberg has just come out with glosses as well, and I know that the range is like always working on stuff. So I'm just very excited to see where this brand goes. It's been around for a little while and the quality is like top notch and the longevity is amazing. So yes, if you're thinking about buying any of these, I absolutely would. That's my final thoughts. I hope you have a wonderful week and I'll see you on Tuesday for a deep dive. Who knows what I'll be covering. If there's any particular topics you want me to cover, let me know in the comments down below. And if there's any brands that you want me to try out, also let me know down below. Thank you lovelies so much for watching, and I'll see you all again next time. Bye!